This story is about a boy named Gulliver who reaches an island where there were born humans. Now let's see what happens with Gulliver in this story. In the beginning of the story, we see a boy named Gulliver who used to work in a newspaper company in New York. We see that Gulliver did not like to work in this company, but he liked a girl named Darcy who worked there, because of which he was still working in this company. Gulliver tries to tell Darcy what is in his heart, but he does not have the courage to tell her what is in his heart. Then once he goes to Darcy's cabin where he was working, but he gets nervous in front of Darcy and picks up a traveling form lying there. Darcy asks him if he likes to travel, to which Gulliver lies to him that he has traveled the whole world. Hearing this, Darcy is very impressed with him and tells him to write an article on travel tomorrow. Now at home, Gulliver tries to write that article, but he does not have any idea in his mind. That's why he writes the article to others. Gulliver copies the article and makes a report and shows it to Darcy the next day. Darcy is also very happy to see that article and tells him to write an article on the Bermuda Triangle, for which he has to go there. Now because Gulliver wanted to impress Darcy, that's why he is ready to go there. The next day, he reaches Bermuda by flight, where he rents a ship. Then the captain of the ship tells him how to sail the ship, after which Gulliver sets out for the Bermuda Triangle. Now he was moving very fast that he falls asleep in the middle of the way, and his ship gets stuck in a sea storm. Then after a while, when Gulliver regains consciousness, he is on the shore, but then he sees that someone has tied him there. After this, some people come there who were very small in appearance. Now seeing this, he understands that he has reached a country of monkeys, and these monkeys have made him their captive. Now Gulliver tries his best to stand up, but then those monkeys pull him down with ropes and tie him up and take him to their king. Now Gulliver is presented in front of the king. We see that the name of this kingdom is Lilliput, and all the people living here are very small. Now they thought that Gulliver is a demon and he is a threat to them. That's why they tied him up. Now Gulliver tries to explain to them that he is not a demon and he will not do anything to them. But no one believes him, and he is imprisoned in a cave. Gulliver sees that there is already a prisoner there whose name is Horatio, and he is also a monkey living here. Gulliver asks him that why have you been imprisoned here? Horatio replies that because I love the princess and the general here is the princess's fiancé. That's why he imprisoned me here in anger. Meanwhile, the general also arrives there. Then Gulliver tells him that you are a very big fool. But the general did not know the meaning of fool, so he asks him what is a fool. Gulliver replies that it means a sensible man. Now the general is very happy to hear this, and he starts calling himself a fool out of happiness. Now because Gulliver was a prisoner here, he was made to work here. He was made to work in the fields so that his harvest could be done soon. But then we see that suddenly the enemy attacks Lilliput. The army of Lilliput did not understand what to do. The enemy sets fire to the palace, after which they enter the palace and try to kidnap the princess. But then Gulliver comes there, and he saves the princess. Everyone is scared because of the fire, but then Gulliver tells him not to worry, I will extinguish this fire in a jiffy. After which he extinguishes the fire. Now because Gulliver had saved the princess, the king is very happy with him and tells him that I invite you for dinner tonight. But then Gulliver tells the king that I will come to your house for dinner on one condition, when you will free the Horesses too. Now the king agrees to this, after which the Horesses are freed. But there the general gets very angry because he did not want the Horesses to be freed. Then at night Gulliver goes to the king's house for dinner, where everyone welcomes him. Then the king asks him, where have you come from? To which Gulliver replies that from New York. Now everyone thinks that Gulliver is the president of New York, to which Gulliver also lies to them that yes, I am the president of New York, and I have a lot of influence in that country. The people there are so loyal to me that they can even give their life for me. Now because the king was very happy with him, a grand house is built for Gulliver where everyone is comfortable. With this he is told that we will soon find your boat too. Now as the days pass, we see that the friendship between Horesses and Gulliver gets deeper. Gulliver knew that Horesses liked the princess, that's why he started giving him advice on how to impress the princess. Now this knowledge was given to him by a man who himself has never been able to impress a girl. But Horesses was sure that whatever Gulliver said is true, and if he listens to Gulliver then he can easily impress the princess. Now Gulliver tells Horesses the opposite ways, which Horesses also follows like a blind devotee. But the surprising thing here was that the princess gets impressed by his actions. Now we see the general who finds Gulliver's boat because he wanted to get rid of Gulliver as soon as possible. Then Gulliver goes to his ship and sees that all his stuff is lying there, including his cell phone. He sees his phone in which there is a voice message of Darcy. Now, after listening to that message, he gets to know that Darcy is very angry with him because he didn't return on time. So now Darcy has to do his job, which is why he also left for the Bermuda Triangle. Then the next day, the enemy country attacks Lilliput. There Gulliver was resting at his house, but then Horaces comes to him and tells him that now the king has made you the general of this country. Another country has attacked our country, so we need your help. Now Gulliver goes to the sea like a hero where there are many enemy ships. Gulliver goes to them and tries to convince them to leave, but they don't listen to Gulliver and attack him with their cannons. But their cannonballs don't affect Gulliver, and he pulls all their ships to the shore, and this is how Gulliver saves Lilliput once again. Now the general gets very angry with Gulliver because he didn't like him before, and now the king has made him the general of this country, so Gulliver gets even more angry. Then we see that Gulliver is given more rest. On the other hand, the princess also breaks her engagement with the general because she knows the real nature of the general. She says that now I don't like you because now I like Horaces. Hearing this, Gulliver gets angry and goes to the king of the enemy country. He brought a magazine of Gulliver which had a way to make a robot. Now the enemy country secretly makes a big robot with the help of that magazine and attacks Lilliput again. Now because that robot was more powerful than Gulliver, so he beats Gulliver a lot, and then asks him to tell the truth to the people of Lilliput. Gulliver also tells everyone that he is not the president of New York, but he works in a newspaper. After this, the general ties him up and leaves him on an island where no one dared to go. Meanwhile, Gulliver was very happy, and he thinks that now he is reached among people like him. But suddenly a big glass comes over him which kidnaps him and takes him with it. Then in the next scene, we see Gulliver, who is made to wear a girl's dress, and when he comes out of the house he sees that he is in a big doll house, and there is a very big girl in front of him, which meant that he had reached the island of demons where he was a little boy himself. Then Horaces comes to him and tells him that now your girlfriend Darcy has also reached Lilliput, but the general has imprisoned her there along with the king, and now only you can save them. Then at night, Gulliver runs away with Horaces and reaches Lilliput again. Then there is a fight between Gulliver and the robot, but this time also the robot attacks Gulliver. But then we see that Horaces goes inside the robot and takes out its wires, due to which many systems of the robot stop working. Now taking advantage of this, Gulliver breaks it badly and destroys it. Then Darcy also comes there, and she understands that Gulliver was here for so many days, and now he has become the hero here. Now because Horaces also helped Gulliver to defeat the general, the king agrees to get his daughter married to Horaces. Now everything was going to be fine when the general comes there, and he imprisons the princess on the tip of his sword. But his princess was no less, and she punches the general and he falls down. Then we see Darcy and Gulliver, where Darcy started liking Gulliver, after which they both leave for New York. Then the scene shifts a few days ahead, where we see that Darcy and Gulliver have become girlfriend and boyfriend. We see that Gulliver had lied to Darcy that he has traveled the whole world and he is a traveler. But this time he has really become a traveler. After this, they both make a plan where they should go next, and this story ends here.